So we have a third animated movie for a franchise coming out now. And by that I mean, like, earlier we had Cars 3, now we have Despicable Me 3, third movie in an animated franchise. So, let's see, is this one better than Cars 3, at least? Let's hope so. Despicable Me 3. Despicable Me 3 is the third movie in the Despicable Me franchise. Well, I guess if you count the Minions, then it's the fourth, but I don't really count the Minions. I just kind of count that as its own movie. So this is the third movie in the franchise. And basically what's going on in this movie is we have Steve Carell back as Gru, Kristen Wiig is back as Lucy, and of course we have those little yellow minions running around. But basically what this movie is you have Gru and Lucy, they're fired from their agency, and then Balthazar Brat, played by Trey Parker, he goes out, he does some things, and now Gru and Lucy have to stop him, while at the same time they have to take care of their three little girls, and the Minions are doing their own thing. There's a lot happening in this movie. So let's talk about Despicable Me 3. Believe it or not, I was actually kind of looking forward to this movie, I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge fan of the first two Despicable Me films. Minions, yeah, not so much on that one. But yeah, I tend to like to forget about that movie whenever a Despicable Me movie is brought up to me. So yeah, I really like the first two films a lot. I love Gru. I loved Lucy in the second movie. And I even liked the Minions, as long as Gru's with them. But, yeah. And I was actually looking forward to this movie quite a bit, because, for one thing, I did love the first two movies, but also Trey Parker as the villain. That had my attention, because Trey Parker is a funny guy. Let's just get that out of the way right there. And I gotta say, he's the best part of this movie. He really is. I do think he owns the role as Balthazar Brat, and he's not really a menacing villain. He's more of a funny villain. He's funny in this movie. He's really funny, and that's basically how a kids movie villain should be. He doesn't have to be all menacing and crazy. Well, Balthazar Brat is crazy, but in a funny way. But yeah, he can be a funny type of villain, and I like the way he did his whole Michael Jackson shtick, and with like some 80s music in the background, and like all the dance-off stuff. I thought all that was funny. The best scene in the movie for me was definitely the first 5 minutes of the movie, where we're introduced to Balthazar Brat, and basically this scene, it's basically just an action scene. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, I did think it was the best scene in the movie. Steve Carell as Gru, I always liked him. He's always been my favorite character in this franchise, not the Minions, but Gru, the one that makes the Despicable Me movies work. I always thought Steve Carell was really funny, and I actually think he's funny as Gru's brother, as well. And Kristen Wiig, another character I really like. Lucy, that's her name, Lucy. I always liked her as a character in these movies. The second one I think is where she really shines, but she shines here too. And the three little girls, I always thought they were cute, and they continue to be. The characters overall are fine for the most part. The Minions in this movie, I thought they had one really funny scene involving a prison. I'll just say that right there. I did think they had a funny scene, better than anything that the Minions movie had, that's for sure. And I do think some of the humor was hit or miss, but for the ones that did hit, they did hit pretty well. I was laughing quite a bit throughout this movie. And I do think that some of the family elements and family messages in this movie, I mean, they didn't hit as well as they did in the first one and the second one. Like, the first one, it tackles, like, being a father and all that, and having kids and all that stuff. And the second one is more geared towards relationships and dating and things like that. This one's more towards brotherhood, I guess, kind of. And also Lucy trying to learn to be a mom. to the three girls, because now her and Gru are married. But yeah, I thought the family elements were nice in this movie. Again, not as good as the first two, but they were still there. Now, even though Despicable Me 3 was kind of entertaining, it's still definitely the weakest of the three, for sure. I will say it's better than Minions. I will say that, but that doesn't really say too much because Minions kind of sucked, but so yeah. I mean, like where the movie really falls flat for me is most of the humor. I feel like most of the humor is geared more towards kids, kind of. I mean, it's got some mature humor in it, but like not in a good way type of mature. Like there's this one scene in the trailer where the Minions are walking by and then there's like this woman Gru statue. Yeah, you guys probably know where that went, but yeah, you saw it was in the trailer, in the second trailer. But yeah, and so, some of the other jokes, a lot of the jokes were hit or miss, and the ones that did missed pretty bad. I gotta say, they definitely did miss pretty bad. And I feel like the movie was totally disjointed at times. Like, there's a couple scenes where you're like, okay, this is supposed to be an emotional scene, and then there's a joke thrown in there, and like it's like the emotional scenes in the movie were played just for laughs, whereas some of the jokes in the first two movies or some of the emotional scenes in the first two movies actually meant something. Like this one, it's not taken quite as seriously. It's definitely geared more towards kids. Like, for example, yeah, like I said, that one joke, and then there's another moment where Gru and his brother are like arguing with each other, and then there's like these jokes thrown in. It's like, okay, where did this go? And of course, the Minions do have some annoying scenes in this movie as well, I gotta say. Like, again, they're better than they are in Minions, but they're not utilized as well in this movie as they were in the first two, especially the second movie. I actually think the Minions are the best in the second movie. And of course, the movie, I do think, was a bit rushed. Like, there's so much going on in this movie, and it was kind of hard. It seemed like the people making it had a hard time balancing everything, and like everything was kind of rushed, especially the third act. Like what goes on in the climatic part involving Gru and Drew and Trey Parker, Lucy, pretty much every character. Like that whole climatic part, I felt like that was definitely a bit rushed. And again, it's something we've seen before a lot as well. So yeah, I mean, again, not a bad film, but I do think this one was definitely more for the kids than for families as a whole. So yeah. While I was entertained by Despicable Me 3, it doesn't change the fact that I do think it is the weakest in the franchise. However, it's definitely the better third animated movie to come out this summer. Yeah, miles better than Cars 3. I'll just get that out of the way right there. This movie is miles better than Cars 3. Cars 3 I thought was just generic and bland. This movie is kind of generic, but at least it has some heart to it. Whereas Cars 3 is just like something we've seen a million times before, and it's lame. It's really lame. This movie, there is actually some fun to be had with it. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm going to give Despicable Me 3 a 65% fresh rating, which is a solid B-. Alright, so there's my review of Despicable Me 3. Have you guys seen it? What did you think about it? Make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And make sure to let me know what's your favorite movie in the Despicable Me franchise. And you can include Despicable Me 3 in there if you want. My favorite is the first one, followed by the second one, and then the third one, and then Minions. But yeah, let me know. What's your favorite Despicable Me movie? And also, what is your favorite Illumination movie? Again, mine is Despicable Me. But yeah, feel free to let me know down in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more reviews to come in the future. And before I go, I do have an important announcement to make. This will be my last video review, probably until mid to late August. I just want to get that out of the way. It's end of June right now, so unfortunately it means I won't be reviewing movies like Spider-Man Homecoming, War for the Planet of the Apes, Dunkirk, or really anything that comes out in July on here, because I'm going to be going on vacation and spending some time in California with my family. So I hope you guys will understand that. I still might do some written reviews, so make sure to look out for those. And maybe at the end of the summer I'll do a recap on the movies I have seen, like Spider-Man, War for the Planet of the Apes, Dunkirk, and all that at the end of the summer. But yeah, it's just the way things work with me. Unfortunately, as a college student, gotta go home during the summer to see your family. So yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that it is unfortunately my last review until mid-August. So just thought you guys would want to know that. But yeah, once again, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more reviews to come in the future. And once again, until I return toward the end of August, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember to stay California cool. Peace.